What's up, dudes? Let's get some more reaction. We were doing amateur and rookie. I typed in expert. Let's try to up the quality of foosball. So, what is this? 2015 New York State expert doubles. Um, so what is it? Mike Campagna, Stephen Grant, Robin John. I don't know if this is the finals or what, but let's check it out.
The expert doubles final.
And again, this is coming from Jim Stevens, Inside Foos. Definitely go check out his DVDs, his YouTube channel. There's no way that you can go really next level without doing this. Especially if you have a rollover, go pick out videos with some of the best rollover shooters in there. If you shoot it like if you pass with a stick series, go buy videos with some of the best stick series out there or brush series. Like, hey, I'm working on a brush. Go find videos from Ron Cipiora or Zamora or Federico Collignon, Terry Moore. That is how we get better. All right, let's get this on.
On the left side of your screen, having won the winner's bracket, that's Rob Kadle in the forward position, his partner John Sajdak. And on the right side at forward, Mike Campagna and Steve Grant playing the goalie position on the right. As we said, Kadle and Sajdak won the winner's bracket of the expert doubles event here, and Kadle now with the first scoring opportunity in game number
All
one.
right, great patience.
Down
Great patience. And he is reading that hole right. That is absolutely the right hole. I,
who blocks it up into the air and off the
it
table.
looks like he maybe just went middle. Probably
Of course, Steve Grant.
just needed to go a little bit shorter. Or maybe the goalie was kind of like baiting him for
doubles
that.
title here in Albany. Kadle and Campagna also partners. They do compete together. In fact, I believe they played together in the Open
All right.
event here this weekend.
Let's check out this guy's two rod. Setting it up on the wall. I like it. That is
Doubles title, both of them
my
playing
spot of
forward.
choice. Great
Slowing
patience.
it down, sends that one up the table where it's picked up here by the 5 of Rob Kadle. Best 2 out of 3. Everything here this weekend is
Let's check out
the final game.
his series. Little mixing brushes and sticks, kind of rushing it. Both people on the 5 are rushing it and mixing up their 5 row series. So, not what I would really expect to see in the expert doubles finals, to be honest. But it's New York. Maybe they don't have a big player base. Where's Vic? Victor, why are you not in expert doubles finals?
Sajdak slowing the tempo down.
Oh man, really slowing it down.
Steve Grant who ends up with it. Almost 2 minutes into the match and still no score here in game number one.
And look right here. Look what Steve does. Not only is he setting it up, taking his time, but look over here. Like I was kind of looking. I always look at this. He's looking at the ball right now. He's setting it up. He's looking at the ball, and right here, a lot of players, probably more than half, will just shoot the ball without even looking at what the defense is giving him. But look at Steve's head. Like we can't really see his eyes, but right there, he looks down the table to say like, hey, what do I want to shoot? That's how you know you are a smart player, and that's what you want to do in goal. You don't just want to like set the ball up and not look at the zone. And this is why when you're tic-tacking it around and you're firing shit down there, it doesn't impress me because it one or two here and there might be good, but you want to play the long game. We want to work the passes, the shots, and you can't do that if you are not looking at what the defense is giving you. So fantastic from Steve.
Grant again,
Even throughout the shot motion, he does not look at the ball. Like this is somebody who has put in some time on the two rod and treated the two bar with the respect it deserves. This is fantastic. I wish every goalie out there could look at this and understand this is how you play the goalie position. You don't need to look at the ball and just good stuff, man. And even if you don't hit it right, or even if you pick the wrong hole, at least you are going for something intentional.
Mike looking to pass, and it's stolen away.
Just check his 5 row out. his first possession was like started a brush, and then he went into a tic tac, and now he is setting it up for the brush. Takes a quick read, and then he goes into an option, and it's not a bad option, but you have to set up your opponent. And I guess he thinks he did. Like, hey man, I went fast wall that time, so now I can go fast off the wall. But both of those are option passes. Like we want to establish our brush, and then we will kind of throw those in there.
Kadle will once again set up the pull shot, and he has a good one.
Does he? Let's see.
Straight, middle, or long.
That short is there, and I think that's what he was trying to shoot the first time. He just didn't execute it right. So great patience from the 3-rod.
So Kadle and Sajdak draw first blood here in game number 1.
So now he's just kind of going to a stick series.
Tic-tacking and passing it nicely down along that wall. Mike Campagna.
Good patience.
On his pull shot, he too has an excellent.
Oh man, that is fast. Yeah, dude, look at the mechanics on his arm. He is dead still, and he's that is a very compact. There is no look at his body. There is no motion in his body. It's like all in his arm.
On his pull shot, he too has an excellent pull shot.
Fantastic. And look where he, yeah. I do not shoot a pull, so I can't deconstruct it perfect, but that looked really compact.
Kadle will have another possession here. Shooting against Steve Grant, Rob Kadle.
And again, like this is, I was pumping up his 2-bar, but and this is kind of what the defense Lafredo gives me personally. Like you are by not switching it up, and you're not really switching up your timing. You're really relying on just getting in the head of somebody else. But as a shooter, we never have to worry about anything tricky. We don't have to worry about speeds changing, crossovers, guys coming in, and when we don't have to worry about that, it makes it really easy to shoot. At least for me, and especially, it's easy when we're sitting up here watching this, but he was looking at this hole the first time, he hit it the second time, and it is still there. And if he were to quick shoot this, he would get a third one. So we'll see, man. Where was that long? Oh man, great shot. Those are the 2 holes that are really huge there.
2 excellent pull shooters on display here in this expert doubles final. Campagna will look to even it up.
I want to say good pass, but I need to see more of that series.
Mike tried to go to the long hole, blocked by
nice grab.
Rebound Karams to Kadle. Rob's hit his last 2.
And this is a big difference between, we've been watching some rookies and amateurs. Both these dudes are taking their time. All 4 of them, really.
He does take his time. Tried to come down the middle here. Grant raced him.
That was the hole that was there.
Campagna who fires home the left hook. It's 2-2. 2-2 here.
Great hack.
Number 1.
And if that's his series, that tic-tacking kind of weave, I think that's why I wanted to hold off on even commenting on that. Because if that's his series, that's pretty good. His hack blended right into his series.
Rebound grab by John Sajdak. Sajdak sends that slicing effort up.
Oh no.
Into the goal by Kadle, who was simply trying to save it to keep it off of Campagna's 3-rod. Instead, it went back towards his own goal. Sajdak couldn't keep it out, and now Kadle will get another possession here, and he finds himself behind by a goal. So if he takes a look at the straight hole, no, I believe he might have cut that one back down the middle. Could have gone to the long hole.
Look at when he shoots. He's blasting it. Yeah, a lot more body motion than Campagna over here. It's still good, but you can see just different styles and how they pull it.
He has tied it up at 3. Back along that wall goes Campagna.
He's got a grab bag of passes. I feel like it is not a tight series but it's just a bunch of passes, and we'll just have to see how this plays out. He's hitting a lot of them, but
That long blocked by Sajdak comes back to Campagna.
yeah, it's different.
And a very even match so far, tied up at 3, and Sajdak there to take it away on this occasion as well.
Good defense.
Sajdak sends that one up the table on goal. Grant snags the rebound, quickly sends it the other way, and it's caught on the 3-rod by Campagna. Mike. Tried to, I believe, come down the middle. That one blocked up into the air and off the table. Sajdak will put it back into play. John Sajdak.
Yeah, and you notice there's not a lot to nitpick or commentate when people are taking their time because it's smart foosball. You know, you're not going to score every one of them. That was not smart foosball.
2 own goals in this first game for the team of Kadle and Sajdak. Kadle scored 1 with his 5 when he squeezed it back in.
Yeah, the guy in the red shirt, his clearing, it needs some work.
And it's 4-3
all right.
in favor of Campagna, and Grant passed along.
Yeah, I mean, this is look at that 5, just kind of like, and he did it last time, just autopilot 5-row on the wall. It's just not a series. I mean, somebody's moving it that fast, they're tossing it really fast on the fly. I don't. I would definitely start making him at least prove that you're going to hit ups on the fly, but not working a series. But he's passing well. Both of them are.
Sitting, really taking his time, and I believe tried to stroke the long. Blocked by Grant.
Yeah, he is not reading the defense. He's just going and hoping that holds there.
Opened up, really taking his time back here, and then has tried a couple of quick things since then. That's a pass attempt along that far wall. Kadle knocks it down, and then Campagna takes it away.
Not reading, not taking his time.
Mike trying to advance it to his 3-rod. And finds the hole along the near wall. Mike Campagna can win this opening game. Campagna from pull shot position tried to come inside. I'm not sure that's exactly what he wanted to do. Didn't really get much behind it.
It kind of seems like the goalie, after that first long, like he is bailing a little bit on that straight, and it was misexecuted. But I think that's what that goalie's doing, and that's why he's getting some of those blocks, possibly. Oh, look at that little tasty recoil after that.
And Grant and Sajdak down the middle into the goal has tied it up at 4 of Campagna and Grant by Sajdak.
We'll just do like a quick. We're not nitpicking a lot of stuff here, so I'll just say if I'm playing, I'll bring in this guy over here, and that way it's kind of you get this angle, because almost all 2-bar shooters, like when they're shooting, they're spraying it, and when you have your defense like this, me personally, I'm not a fan, because this is exactly what happens. You kind of drift out, and it's going to cut short. It's also going to cut through to your guys, and it's hard to know how to lock up your guys when you have this, because you're giving up that slider through there, and that's the 2-bar shot from the push. It is a slider. Like, bring in this guy and kind of stagger them like this, and that way it just makes it easier to, at least for me, it makes it really easy to block. Yeah, good shot. And he look where the goalie is at the very end of that shot. His 2-bar, because he's drifting out with it, because it is sort of middle, he drifts this guy way out here. There's no push shot from the wall that's going to go way out here. I mean, this guy is doing nothing out here. That's why if you kind of start closer with it kind of angled with this, whatever that formation is, then you can sort of drift out and you're good. Because then you drift out too much, this guy will get it. And if you don't drift out enough, this guy will get it. So just different placement. You guys maybe work on that, see how you like it. What? 4-4. Get some drama going in here. We'll see what this dude has on his 5-row. Looks like a hodgepodge of passes. When he's moving it fast, I would like to see. That's like three walls in a row. When he's moving it around fast, like he's not like hammering lanes, and you got to be ready for that. And again, game point, like we've talked about this before. Game point, especially when he's already gone wall a lot, like make him earn it. He might be able to hit it, but make him earn it. Like that is a freebie wall pass, and it's like the third freebie in a row where he doesn't even have to worry. Like even if he is feeling pressure, he's just like, all right, you're gonna keep giving me the freebie wall pass. I'll keep taking it. Yeah, he's not even close to. Like he wasn't even baiting him for it. Like, hey, take it. He was just not adjusting on the 5. It's all right.
Try to come down the middle, blocked and taken away by Sajdak. 4-4 here in game number 1.
Great blocking.
Calls timeout. John Sajdak will put it back into play in the goal area. 4-4, first game. Sajdak scored the last time, puts one on goal.
Oh man, great grab.
Campagna knocks it back to the 3-rod of Kadle. Rob Kadle can win game number 1.
Yeah, that short and long are both there. He just has to time one of those. Oh, he did. Oh no, bummer. Great block.
In the opening game for Kadle and Sajdak, and Campagna and Grant living.
Let's just watch this. I mean, on its own, this is like, hey man, it's a good pass. It's sort of tricky. It's like a double bump. You know, you're going from here to here, and then you're going into motion. When you're doing that, you're not reading the long. You're not saying, hey man, or I'm sorry, you're not reading the wall. You're not saying, sorry guys, 1 second here. You're not, yeah, you are not reading that wall and saying like, hey man, I will beat that person to the wall. You're relying on like deception and trickery, and that's not what we want. On the 5-row, we want to be able to beat the people to the holes. We're not guessing because you're basically guessing. You're hoping. Hey man, I hope this motion fools him. No man, we don't want that. That's just an option pass. It almost seems like both these guys have a lot of options on their 5-row, and it's not a series, but it's working on both of them. So
earned a first game win.
That's interesting.
We'll look to open up the scoring here in game number 2.
Great patience. I'd mix it up a little bit.
Again, taking his time.
Yeah, man, that hole's huge. And he's got a great stroke for that. It kind of cuts back right around that first dude.
Stop after 3, 4, 5, 10, 12 seconds. Kadle has shown he can certainly do that.
Going to the brush.
Looking to even it with a quick shot here. Blocked by Sajdak, who gets out.
Great defense. He got like what, 1 long, maybe?
And again, Sajdak there. So John Sajdak really doing a good
kind of. I guess we're nitpicking. Like he is still sort of shooting within 5 seconds. He's always going long or middle. And when you're doing that, you're giving the defender, the goalie, a chance to start making adjustments. Great shot back there. Way to square up that push.
Kadle and Sajdak leading 1-0 here in the second game of what could be the opening.
Yeah, when you're doing that, you're not even reading your pull hole. You're just quick. You're hitting and hoping. Again, just not taking his time, not reading defenses back there, and just throwing stuff down there. And if it works, I guess, and I guess that'll work if you win, but that's not what we want. We want to read the defense. Hey man, that was a good pass. He came out and blocked it, but he read the defense. He decided to do that. And again, like on the 5, this has been working for both of them a couple times. Like, hey, I'll just go into motion and hope that the wall passes there. That's what he does. And look, he's Mr. Campagna is not even moving his 5-row. I mean, watch. Let's see. Right there. He is not moving his 5-row, and the ball's not even close to being passed. And this guy's just like, oh no, I'm not going to read the D. I'll just go into motion. And that's how you block it. You're like, hey man, you're not going to read the D. You haven't been reading the D. I'll force you to read the D by just staying on the wall. And he doesn't, and we'll see if he changes. And again, he's like, oh, I got to read the D. I'm not comfortable doing this. I'm going to just lose the ball right now. So it's interesting. Like you can come out, and this is what you have to think like when you're defending these type of players. Hey man, it's okay if you get one or two passes on me that look very crispy, but are you reading the defense? Is that strategy going to play out long term for you? Good pick.
It's 1-1. That pull shooter's best friend, that squared off split against the standard defense on whatever table you use it on. We like to talk about it on the Bontini table. What a huge
Yeah.
split hole there is. But
When you force somebody to start reading your defense, and now it changes things up, and maybe their 5-row takes a hit, and it kind of looks like it does.
You're going to have a great deal of success. You establish the straight, perhaps you establish the long as well.
Yeah, I love this dude's patience back there.
Work that middle against the standard defense. If you wait on it, it's going to be there at some point during the course of every possession. And several points usually. Still 1-1 here in the second. And going crisply through the lane here is Campagna. Campagna sets it up and tried to come inside.
Still, he is not taking his time on the 3-row, which. All right. At least, yeah, I don't know.
That one up the table. Rebound grab by Grant. 1-1. Second game.
I think this is the guy that sponsors Tony Spreedman. I think it is. Huh.
John Sajdak gets a possession here.
Yeah, he's got some issues clearing. And that's good enough. When you have a good enough forward, maybe your competition's not not that tough. You can get away with that, but still, like our goal is to always be
it has certainly not been an intentional thing.
Reading the defense and dictating what's happening on the table. And when you're doing this right here, you're hoping something opens up for you. And just not smart foosball. Again. Yeah, like he is not working anything on the 5-row. You know, we see the difference. In the last couple of videos, we were analyzing Schneider's 5-row and how insane his percentages were because he was multiple tosses, reading the defense. These guys are very quick. They are going into motion. It doesn't look like they're reading a lot. They're not setting people up. So yeah, not trying to dog on them too much. Like they're in the finals. They're solid experts, but they're not exploring the power of foosball here.
Sajdak tried to send a pass along that near wall. Campagna had it, lost it, and that means Kadle will put it back into play on his 5. 1-0 lead in games for Campagna.
Oh man, and you see Mike is just like, hey, I'm just gonna leave my guy here. It's been working, and then he's just like, oh, I'll try something. God damn it! Why didn't I just force that guy to do something different? He is not reading the defense. Yeah, man, that whole table was shaking when he goes into motion.
A high back straight might be in order here for Kadle.
Oh man, great pick. That hole is there almost every time, and at this point, you have to change up something on that defense. Oh man, good patience on that brush.
High back straight would probably work the first time, and then continue to keep him on that straight hole from then on, or at least paying attention to it. 2-2 here in the second, and that's 2 in a row now from Campagna, who is also working the middle part of the goal against a standard defense.
Yep. I will not take my time, and he falls right into that bait.
Campagna will set up his pull shot. He's made his last 2. Trying to go with that little flick straight. I'd like to see him sell that a little more.
Yeah, Jim is commentating excellent on some of that.
blocked by Sajdak. Who for the most part,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
very well. Kadle's going to get an opportunity. Again, Grant showing him the potential split. Kadle, if you sit on it, it's going to be there if you explode to it. Instead,
Oh
he goes
man.
to the long hole.
He's really absolutely destroying this this goalie over here.
The long pull shot
With those two, and because he has such a nasty long, it's keeping that short open.
Sajdak really has done a good job, I think, against Campagna's 3-rod.
Good 5 D. That's what you need. Hey man, he's passing and he started to get a read on the goalie. Let's switch it up before things get out of hand. Let's switch it up. And you absolutely saw this defense up here is completely different than that other guy's. So great switch.
However, Campagna had hit his last few and was on a bit.
And we know this guy's got a nasty pull, so we'll see.
Fortunate to get that one through. It's taken away here by Campagna on his 5.
Oh, man. Good D, man.
And a nice pass here by Campagna. It's the expert doubles final here at the 2015 New York State Championships in Albany. Campagna will shoot against his good friend Kadle for the lead.
Yeah, man, that's the defense I like. But let's look at this again. This whole match, he has been shooting against the standard. He got one in, and then the goalie made some adjustments, and he struggled for a little bit, but then he got dialed in on reading that. And now you got this other guy with a different type of defense, different speed. He brings over this guy. And as a shooter, you're kind of timing things. You're timing your hole like, hey, I see that long hole. I'm timing it maybe. And then you go because you think this guy abandons it, and then he sneaks in the second man on the 2-rod. Oh man, just fantastic defense. No man, you gotta call timeout here. you need to call timeout. No man, don't shoot it. Yeah man, what it went in? Oh no. It's all right. That was a good defense, and that's not smart foosball. This guy's absolutely stroking it from the 3-rod. You have to put him up there, and that could have been a mistake that haunts him.
Living a little fortunately themselves on that last possession, Sajdak and Kadle have surged.
Oh man, great pull kick. Look at that.
On that last possession, Sajdak and Kadle
fantastic.
But Grant with a big deep pull kick makes it 4-4,
and you can still do those options from setting it up over here. So good 2-bar work from Grant. I would not give him wall. Oh, look. Taking his time, but still goes into some wonky wall.
Second game again, it is set point for Campagna and Grant. Steve Grant will slow it down and set up his pull shot. Taking a lot of time.
Oh no, dude. Yeah, unacceptable. You better block this, man.
Kadle now can send this match to a third and final game as he sets up the pull shot.
He knows exactly what he wants to shoot on this defense. He will either go long or cut it into the short hole. He goes long. And that's what you need. As a pull shooter, you have to have an unraceable long. It opens up the entire goal. Oh man, great brush off the wall. Check that out. He's got like a good stick series. I feel like he doesn't read it right, but excellent brushing there when he does use the brush series. And again, he's like, I know your defense. I know what hole I'm going to hit now. Yeah, this is fantastic 5-row D. I mean, this is like, I don't know, 6 or 7 in a row he's blocked. But he's definitely got a read on what that guy is, his tendencies are.
Rob sits, waits, takes his time, and then finds the
he is just those 2 holes all day long.
Out to that long hole. Again, that for Kadle, that 6-second, 8-second.
Yeah. Again, I mean, he's got the option passes. We would like to see an established series. because like he's just hoping that it bites. Man, he is crushing that middle.
Settled in now on that split against the standard defense, and he has scored his first 2 shots here in game number 3. Kadle looking to answer.
Yeah,
Hesitation wall pass
great.
drawing Campagna.
That was a good pass, but really great vibro D. I mean, even though you can have great vibro D, look what he's doing. He is forcing this guy to read his defense. He is saying like, "Hey, I'm going to stick on the wall," and then you can kind of see, all right, I need to slow things up now because he was on autopilot for a while. He was not reading the defense. Mike made the adjustment of like, "Hey, man, I am going to sit on a hole and force you to read the defense because you're going to keep hitting it into my guy." And then he left this open a little bit too long, and he's probably thinking, all right, I mean, he's probably going to go lane. And then he does that hesitation to say, I am going lane. And then he does the hesitation wall. Just fantastic offense.
Number 3. Kadle looking to answer.
Yeah. He showed him the lane. He did the hesitation to make him think he was going lane, and then he sped it up for the wall pass. So
this would be a situation where Kadle would
great pass. And that's what happens when you take your time. You can play that mental chess. Little fade. He is having his way up there. Excellent, excellent 3-row.
I think at this stage you must call timeout if you're John Sajdak and you get a possession here. 2-2 here in game 3. It's been a very well played expert doubles final. High quality, high percentage foosball.
Look at that, very patient.
Tried to brush it through the lane after bouncing it off that near wall. Blocked by Sajdak.
And what we do, somebody's giving us the bus. Nope. And that's kind of what you need. You sort of expect that. It's like, hey, the first time he had it, he set up for the brush. You get a read, and he still did one toss. I think he came off the wall, but it was still just one toss. You want to get a read, like, what's that guy doing up there? Oh, he's buzzing. All right, when he buzzes, I'll go wall. And the next time he gets it, he doesn't do the brush at all. He goes into something else. So he doesn't really have a read on that. I guess that's just my take on it. That's why you want to keep working one series so you start to get a feel for what that guy is giving you. And if you're not going to take your time and you're going to start switching series, then you cannot expect to have a decent percentage on the 5-row. It's just like, I'll go into this. But it looked like the lane was there. He just hit it really high. I'm just talking.
And I imagine he's going to work the pull shot series.
Yeah, man. I would expect. Oh man, great pass.
Wasn't prepared for it. Brand in the rebound.
And it's all right if your forward doesn't catch it. It makes that other forward think about, all right, I need to come out and block that. Very smart. Kind of the funnel D. He's like, you're not going to get this, and I would kind of stay out over here. You are not going to get the long. This is absolutely a defense I will use in doubles. Keep this on the 5. Keep your 5 on the wall. You're blocking this hole over here with this guy, and you're just giving him this. And we'll see. And then maybe you can come out and see if he has that pass. And he did. Mike came out for it, but. Dude, what are you doing? This is horrible. Absolutely horrible foosball. I think he's like, you were making it look so easy up there by drilling the goalie. It has to be that easy. No, man, it's not. That guy's fat. That guy's pull shot is 5 times faster than yours, and he is being smart with it. And give it up to his partner, being very cool. Again.
Calling the timeout here is in order as well.
We'll see. Yeah, man. You're not even going to pass it. You're just going to just go for it. We know he's not going to read this defense. He's just going, do not give him the easy wall. And he can't even execute the lane, even though it's huge. Like, this guy is not a forward. He needs to be pulled from this position the second he gets it.
Perhaps Sajdak just not willing to give up the forward position.
Yeah, he is.
Or perhaps not thinking along those particular strategic lines.
There's no strategy there. That's just not smart foosball. And that's how you lose. You know, it looks like there's not a lot of time left for the double dip, so they're probably going to win. But that's absolutely how you can lose, especially Yeah, man, let's pause it because Jim is talking about it. We've been talking about this. This is this is not an easy team over here. Mike has shown that when he focuses a little bit more on the 5-row, he's executing and he can read that very well. He's got a good, nice, compact pull. He's reading that. He's making adjustments. And this is not a pushover team over here. Yeah, if this guy in white gets up here, he's pretty much automatic because Grant is not making any adjustments here, and that's probably Mike needs to get back up here too sometime. Get in the back sometimes too to just to save some balls for defense. And they both just need to play switch the bitch. They do. That is, you get in the back on their drop and you get a block and you clear it or you try to score, and then when your partner gets control of it, you call timeout and you get up there. You switch the bitch, and this is absolutely how you can lose matches by not doing that. You're not playing smart. And it'd be different. This is DYP. Hey man, I want to play some front. Hey, knock yourself out. We both paid $5, but you're playing in New York State. You want this title? No, man. I did not decide to play with you so you could come up there with your half-speed pull shot. I want you to be my goalie and let me do the heavy lifting. So we'll see. A lot of fun. And again, not trying to dog on any players, but this is not a capable forward up here, and you're playing in the finals of expert doubles. Yeah, you don't need to be up there. And this is what, 2015. This is a long time ago, so I would expect these players to be to be much better by then. And again, you are not going to take your time on the 2-ride. You're not going to pick shots. That's what happens. Or maybe, yeah, if it could have gone a little bit extra deep, he might have had that. But Mike stayed in his zone. Let's see if he takes his time. This is a huge point. Definitely taking his time, getting a read, and he is killing that short in that middle with that defense. He has made that adjustment. He's got a very fast pull. So, good stuff. Oh man, yeah. And let's look at that again. That's great playing on both players. He has started taking his time on the 5-row, but that's because Mike has forced him to take his time on the 5-row. And he is daring him to say, hey man, I don't think you can hit that lane. and he does. So that's not horrible defense by Mike. I would say, hey, give him that defense, but every now and then you still want him to be stupid on the 5-row. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but when we know somebody maybe favors the wall, they are not reading the defense, as a defender, we want to dictate it, but at the same time, we want them to keep being impatient and keep being dumb so we can keep getting that turnover. And that's not what Mike does here. He is saying, hey, man, can you go lane? Can you go lane? And he's like, yeah, I can go lane. So great offense and not a bad defensive play. Like I'm definitely given that same defense to say, like, hey, man, can you go lane? But what you have to do is say, hey, I'm going to give you this huge lane and expect when he goes into motion and come out here and get it. Yeah, he's not a dumb player on the 5-row. He recognized that's what Mike was giving him, and he went there. So this is mental chess. Mike he gave that defense, but he also has to play chess with them and say, like, hey man, is that guy smart enough to not take the wall? If so, I will come out and block that lane because I'm showing him I'm giving the lane. So really interesting psychology on both sides of these players here. And that's what we want. When your execution is there as an expert, this is what we want. You're just getting beat mentally by the other player. And again, look, we see something different here. Oh man. Yeah. If I were him, I'd say like, hey man, I'm finally seeing something different. Let's see what he's actually doing here. And instead he's like, no, man, I see the reverse. I see a dead row. I'm just going to go out there. And it's probably there the first time. I mean, not a bad shot, but we'll take our time to make sure it's there. Campagna, Steve Grant trying in this opening set. Yep. And again, that look at his defense. Hey man, I am not going to give you that dummy wall pass, and Mike is not even reading the defense. That is just autopilot. Like, hey man, the last couple times I was just throwing in this wall pass and he's chasing it. I will do it again. He, this is the same defense that he used on this other guy, so it's pretty funny when you think about it. He's just moving that ball around, not even reading the defense, and the guy's just like, all right, man, you're gonna do that. You can't keep doing that to me. And Mike's like, oh man, crap. Maybe next time I start going into motion, I will not do that. So yeah, this is different defense, and he needs to take his time, and he's not.
You're only down 3-2 here in this third game. You do have a set in hand, but you never really want to think along those lines. You never want to think that.
Yep. He almost got that freebie again.
Big trouble. We've seen it time and time again.
It's forcing Mike to play smart on the 5-row.
I'm guessing that a double dip occurs.
And he's rushing it a little bit still.
Or close to it.
Oh. Not taking his time. It almost was a stuff, almost was a turnover.
Side has momentum, of course, entering the final, but also you let them keep that momentum. You let them be in the match.
Oh. I will not take my time. I will not read this 5-row defense, and that's exactly what happens. That's a gimmick pass, and that's how you lose foosball, Matt. I mean, yeah, man, that's not smart play. Not a smart play. And again, and I don't want to pick on people too much, but because everybody here is doing some good shit. But when this is all you know, and this you do this series a lot, you're weaving it, and you're doing these fast passes, you are ingraining bad habits into you. And even when you know, hey man, we need to take our time, we need to maximize our possessions, make everyone count, you're not gonna be able to help yourself. You are incapable of taking your time. You're incapable of just adapting and adjusting because it's just been bred into you. Like, hey man, I can use this sloppy 5-row pass on most players. Yeah, man. Locally you can, and maybe here and there you can, but it's not. You're not playing the percentages. You're not beating that other player through skill and mental strength. You're beating him through just like hit and hope. Like you're guessing he's not going to be there, and he was there, and that's why that's what happens. You can't help yourself. So this is why we want to, as a very beginner playing this, a rookie, beginner, a noob. You do not want to develop these habits that these guys have because these guys are experts and they still have these very bad habits ingrained into them, and it's really hard for them to slow it up and play smart. In fact, they can't. You're in the finals, these are huge points, and they're still making poor decisions off poor habits that they have been doing their entire Foos careers. So, and again, we are not trying to dog on anybody here. We're trying to use this as a learning tool. This is what you can expect if you don't develop some discipline and tighten up your 5-row and work in actual series. So we don't want this. We don't want crucial turnovers on big points.
Showing him a reverse defense. You think Kadle can get around
Yeah.
that? He chooses to go straight here.
Still kind of rushing it, but I think he sees this defense and knows what's going to be there, and that's why he's just going. And his pull shot is, I'm just going to pause this. His pull shot is fast enough that he can get away with kind of rushing the reading. So, like, really great pull shot.
He shot it well during the course of the match.
Oh, going to go into this fast motion. Don't give him those easy walls. He's like, oh, you're going to camp on the wall? I will take that lane. That is the exact, man, this is awesome. That is the exact defense that Mike gave him over there. He's like, hey, man, you're going to go into that weave. I'll instantly take away the easy pass. And Mike's like, hey, man, you were going to sit there. I will go easy wall or easy lane. So what this guy needed to do was sit on the wall and then say, oh, I have convinced him that I'm not going to come off this wall, and then you come off the wall to block the lane. So just a tiny slight adjustment. Like, not bad defense, but he is a good enough player to recognize what was happening there. So you just have to be one step ahead, pull out your guy a little bit sooner. So it's like you show them that defense for the first couple tosses, like, hey man, I'm not going to give you that easy wall, and then you go into your real defense. So good stuff, man. Really, really good stuff on how to use different 5-row defenses, and we'll see if Mike keeps working that split. Oh, he tried.
Sajdak to block it and take it away.
Like, no man, I am tired of giving up the split.
Shot down the middle, almost grabbed on the 3 by Kadle. It does roll back to Campagna on the 5, however.
Yep, just going into a different series, tic-tacking, wants to go wall.
And Sajdak with a rebound. John has cleared it at a very high level when using the push shot. Clears it here using the pull shot, picked up by Grant. Steve looking at something quick, and then we'll set up the pull shot on the far side.
Nope, you got to take your time. This is a huge point. You cannot afford to be dumb.
Grant.
Oh man, I think he would have had that pass. Mike came out for it. Oh,
Grant.
maybe he barely got a piece of it.
Slices that one up the
Huh.
table again. Just looking to clear it. Again, this is a ploy that he and his partner, his open partner, Tony.
I don't think he was looking to clear it. I think he was looking to pass it.
Possessions as if he needs them.
That guy is not reading anything.
And certainly every player could.
And this is, hey, like there's two ways to look at this. One, you can say like, hey, you're not getting stuffed, you're not turning it over, so why can't you just hit and hope back there? Well, the reason we don't want to hit and hope is because if you had a very strong 2-bar back here, T-Max, Ryan Moore, Tim Walters, somebody who is going to punish you with passes and shots, if that person had developed a 2-rod, you are tilting the advantage to this team over here. So that's why we don't want to hit and hope. Yeah, man, you're clearing it, but you're not really scoring it. You're not a danger to pass it. You're just throwing stuff out there, not looking. If this player over here had a stronger 2-bar, that's where the advantage comes in. So that's why we do that.
Grant is just trying to feed his partner here.
Yeah, man.
Using the same strategy. Tries to pull
Great shot.
executes that towards the goal. Rebound grab by Sajdak. And John on goal. Grant
Oh, man.
that one up into the air and off the table. John Sajdak will put it back into play in his goal.
I like it though, just if you're gonna, you can't keep throwing slow passes down there. So try something faster. Yep. If you are not going to be smart on the 2-rod, this is what happens. We have been. This is a great lesson though. You are not reading the defense. You are just moving the ball around. You're not waiting. You're just. Nope. Look. Let's look again. Which guy he hit that with? Because Mike doesn't even move his. Like he stops it. Like he stops his guy. He's like moving his guy right here, and that guy is not even. He's just going into motion. Hits it right into this guy, and I don't know. It's all right. I mean, this is why we have to set it up. We have to work the series. We have to be able to hit every hole. We know if you're going to set it up for a push and you don't have a strong push, we don't need to come out here with this 2 guy, with this middleman. We don't need to block this part of the goal because you're not going to hit that. So we will stay over here. We're going to stay short, force you into something that's probably going to be a turnover, or let you have this hole here, and that's the goal. That's the zone for Steven to block. So pretty much neutralize this guy's 2-bar, and he's not smart with it, and that is a huge point. Huge point.
Back off that inside wall and in another own goal here, or perhaps Campagna got a piece of it. It's set point for Campagna.
Look, he is kind of. He has changed his defense. He has changed his offense. He was doing a lot of quick shit. Mike started getting on him, and he has changed up his 5-row to be a little patient. He's got a great wall. He's got a good hesitation wall. And he's got that good lane. So he has the game. So let me pause it here. This dude has the game to take it to the next level when he needs to. I can see why he could be in the expert doubles finals of any event, not just New York State. I mean, this is this slow 5-row, and his pull is absolutely disgusting. When he decides to play smart, he could be in the finals of any major. But it's just, he wasn't doing that for a while, and Mike got on it, and they almost lost this match because of that. And we can see the adjustment in this dude's 5-row in terms of, hey man, I am not having the success I need to. Let me slow it up. Let me simplify my 5-row into just one toss. Super simple. I will go lane. I will go wall. I will do hesitation wall to pull him off the wall. Fantastic adjustments. God, was it Campagna? Yeah, man, fantastic adjustments by him on the 5-row. He is not just a one-trick pony with a great 3-rod. And again, you're going to give him this defense. He is already licking his chops because I know he knows he can go around this 2-bar, maybe even possibly dead row. And Steven is not. He is not adjusting his defense. He has not really been adjusting it the whole match. We saw him give up the standard, and Campagna was just ash raping that defense, and now he's giving up this, but he's still not switching it up on the fly. He's not bringing in this guy. He's not giving Campagna anything to worry about. He's like, oh man, you switch positions, but you're still never really giving me anything to look at. I will time this hole. I will time this long hole. And he probably should have went already, but no, man, he is being smart, saying like, hey, this is a close game. I need to make this possession count. I want to make sure it's there. What I think I'm seeing is there. So really good stuff from Campagna. He is, yeah, man. You are not gonna block. You can't do that. You cannot give somebody this bobbing, and you're at least stick on dead row. Be like, hey man, if you're gonna go long, you have to go dead row. And he's like, yep. Are you gonna keep giving me that? That's not good defense.
So into overtime we go.
You have to give them something else, especially when you see, especially when you know that guy's pull is brutal, is like brutally fast. He's like, hey man, should I call timeout if I get it? He's like, yes, please. Do not try to be a hero.
Could just be a matter of inexperience on the
Oh man, that's passing like a stud there.
He's just very confident with his forward game. Now Campagna can give his team the lead as he sets up the bull shot, shooting.
Being very smart, both of them. Look at that. Yeah, man, great call. He passed it like a boss. I feel like this guy was in this, and again, no surprise. This guy, I'd be surprised if that guy's an expert. He is just in no man's land, shaking his 5-row. Was it? Yeah, Campagna could have done a wall or a lane, and he crushes that lane. Oh, they switched. Interesting. I
puts the ball back into play.
I don't know if I would have made that switch.
And takes a look at the defense.
He's gonna go middle again.
Tried to come down middle with that shot. Sajdak with a block.
Good block. Did he go middle?
Tried to come down. And takes a look at the defense.
Yeah. Good defense. He was, I guess, baiting him for the middle. He just abandoned it with the first guy. He could have gone straight, but that was the read. I think he was just, that guy raced it. Good stuff, man. He absolutely has to take his time on this ball. Nope. I will not take my time. I'll just hit it fast, and another turnover. Yep, and same defense.
Now Steve Grant thinks that, in fact, they all think the match is over. It is not. It's 5-4 in favor of Campagna and Grant. Now they realize that it is win by 2.
Oh, win by 2. Wow.
Grant has actually 6 score.
Oh man, great pass. Read it.
Now Kadle will look to tie it up at 5.
Yeah, man, he has made a great adjustment. And again, like, you play switch the bitch. You went back there to get the block, and then you let him go back there when this dude has his number for the most part. I mean, and he's struggling with the 2-bar. I feel like this guy just needs to take over the match. But again, we are reacting to it. We're not there. It's very easy to sit up here and think we know what we're talking about. Again, man, I don't know who's going to win this, but I think it's Campagna. He needs to get back here. Like he is not blocking any of this dude's 5-row right now, and he is teeing off on Grant. I mean, almost the whole match, pretty much the whole match. This guy should absolutely be playing Switch the Bitch, way more. It might even be too late, but he definitely should right now. I don't know. Again, he's given that same defense. I'm just going to go long or. Uh,
Look at that long and
all right.
with a straight blocked by Grant, who angles it up the table. Sajdak with a rebound.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't take his time to go long again, but it's all right. He's probably just trying outthinking himself.
Fires that one on goal. Sent back the other way by Grant. It is set point for Campagna and Grant. They're up 5-4, but Sajdak.
Oh man, hit nope comes through. Where was that? It looked pretty long.
It is set point for Campagna and Grant. They're up 5-4.
Still not long. It's like right here. Somebody came out of their zone, but that's why you play players again, man. Anybody watching this, go watch my defense on the funnel D. You play players who do not have a strong 2-bar and they cannot go further than like right around here. You just funnel them. Hey man, I will not even give you the chance to do anything sloppy or get a lucky hit and hope. We will just funnel you short, and the goalie doesn't have to worry about anything. So it's all right. And again, most people would say like, yeah, man, good shot, awesome. Not me, man. You are not taking your time. I don't think you're probably looking down the table and reading the defense. So it's not a good shot. That's just hitting hoping.
They correct it now. It is 5-5.
But great drama.
Campagna will put the ball into play on his 5.
Oh man, love this guy's broad. Look at this, the slow toss, multiple tosses, goes into a fast option.
Campagna again.
Oh man,
that one along the wall and
great read.
Give his team the lead. Remember, Campagna and Grant need this game in order to keep their hopes of winning the expert doubles title alive here in New York this weekend. Hoping to send it to a second.
That middle is that short is there. He's baiting it.
Shot attempt rattles in, and again a set point for.
He's like, you sloppy motherfucker, and he's just like, dude, that's the hole you're giving up. I barely missed it. Good stuff.
It is 6-5.
And again, I think Mike over here, I think that's his name. He did he did one nice long, scored it. He went some other longs and middles, and then this guy was on it. He has gone nothing but middle. It seems like, I'm not going to go and rewatch the whole match, but it seems like for like the past like 20 possessions on the 3-rod, he has gone middle. There is no adjustment being made over here whatsoever to say like, hey man, you need to start looking straight. You need to go back to this. He's just giving him the same defense. So not good. See if he keeps taking his time. Yeah, I like it.
Perhaps send this thing into overtime, into double overtime.
Nope. He's like, I'm not able to set it up good, so I will hit and hope, and that's what happens.
Shot from goal to score his team's previous point. Sajdak will again set up the pull shot.
Yep.
Sending it along the outside wall, does clear it, does get it into the left hand of
Oh man, punishes that lane.
Rob can tie it up at 6.
Oh, back to the standard, drifting the reverse. Man, just punish that long. Just go, 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 go.
He sets it up. And
yep.
Rolls it home. Again, it is the long. Grant going to take a quicker look, but the hole was there, and if you wait on
He's like, yeah, man, you cannot give him that defense. And I don't know why. I don't know why he's not getting back there for this defense. Why Campagna is not getting back there to take some of these blocks. Like, your goalie is not blocking any of this.
Tic-tac bounce pass, nicely done. So it's a race to 8 now.
Let's see if he goes middle again. Yep. Oh man, barely got a piece of it.
Shot down the middle. Campagna with the block.
He's like, yeah, man, I will not. I will not take my time and read this defense. He's like, stop, man.
All right, we will continue play.
Oh man, now he's hitting backwards.
Maybe there was a reset in there somewhere. Kadle asking about it. Shot down the middle on goal by Sajdak. Rebound is grabbed by Grant.
So, no, let's see if he keeps going to that slider, that slow spray over here, or the pull kick. Oh man, not bad. Good shot.
It's Sajdak's turn. Who's going to make the big play here?
Nope. I will rush my shot and keep hitting it to the same spot, and I will get another turnover. Like, this is not good goalie work. Oh, I will keep going middle. Oh man. Like, okay, guys. We got a lot of good lessons here. But what I mean, for sure, like this, we are seeing the utter implosion of what happens when you are not looking when you have a two bar like this. You might get one or two, but we don't care about that. We want to play smart foosball, especially when it counts. And there's some big time turnovers to this guy's 3-row. He did it last time trying to pass. He's not reading the defense. And then Mike has hit, I think it might be like 100 middles in a row. It could be more than that. Like it might be 150. I don't know. But it's somewhere between 100 and 150 middles in a row. And this guy's still giving him middles. After the third one, you have to say, hey, man, you can, if you're going to score on me, you can go long or you can go straight or you can do a fucking scorpion, but you will not have that same middle. And this guy, I mean, he's just like Steven. They keep giving these dudes the same shots, and I don't know why. I mean, I know why. I mean, I know why because they're not good enough players to make adjustments. But I don't know why those goalies are in the finals of expert double. Maybe this guy sponsored this guy. I don't know. I don't know.
Timed it perfectly. Found that squared off split, and again it's set point for Campagna and Grant, and now Kadle looking to
kind of a hit and hope pass.
In this opening set.
Got a piece of it, but it squeaked through.
As Kadle sets up the pull shot.
Going back to the standard, he's like, again, going back to the standard, and this guy's like, oh, you were going back to your first defense? I will go long or I will go short. That's what he's thinking right now. He's an excellent pull. We've seen from his adjustments on both rods that he is a smart player. So I would be very surprised if he doesn't go short or long. That's not to say he's gonna get blocked or get bricked or anything bad, but he knows those are the two holes I need to hit. So I'd be surprised if he doesn't go one of those holes. Oh, he went middle instead of short. Let's see. Yeah, looks like he went middle instead of long.
Got out there to make the stop. Rebound caroms to Campagna.
Oh man, nice pass. And he's may seem to make like a little adjustment with his series there. Oh man, he's still gonna time that middle. Look at that. He's like, damn it. I thought for sure he would block the middle, so I tried to go long. Why didn't I just keep going middle? Yeah. So when you know you have a goalie back there who is not going to change up their defense, you don't need to change up your offense.
Grant.
Yeah. But maybe you do. Sometimes you just have to throw that out there to make sure that middle's going to be there next time.
Pull kick towards the goal. Sajdak able to snag the rebound. It's 7-6 in favor of Campagna.
Good grab by the goalie there. Just keep it in your zone. Let's take our time here. Nope, I will not take my time, but it worked out.
Rob will set up the pull shot and look to even this third game up at 7 goals.
Yeah, man, even it up, man. We want to go meatball. Meatball, man. Short or long. Or timeout. Even better. Yeah, this is what Mike needed to do. And even if he scores, this is still the best move right here.
Expert doubles final down to the final ball of at least the first set.
Yeah, give him something different. Got that little switching up here, showing him the straight, trying to trap him into different things. He's like, hey man, go straight. Yep, and he had timed that straight. But that's what you got to do. That's just excellent offense on his part to say, oh, all right, I will read the defense and understand what's happening up here. Yeah, man, outstanding offense. You take your time, good things happen. And again, if I were him, I would have got back there for this because he has made an adjustment on his fibro and he is dialed in on this guy's middles over here. Yep. Yeah, man, I will go middle every single shot of this match because there's no adjustments being made. So I don't know who was this for the title or this for the just winners bracket. I don't know, but great playing by both these forwards. I feel like we got a lot of good lessons in here. We got lessons on fibro defense, on the need to have a tight series on the fibro, and this guy did. He absolutely changed up his fibro D to be smarter and more compact, and he started living with the ball, and he was scoring really really good. He was scoring really good, but I can't remember if this guy if when this guy came up here to take a shot, if it was this match or like this game or not, but that's stuff you can't do. That's the stuff that will come back and haunt you. And then Mike up here had some great fibro work, and give it up for him for making that adjustment on the 3-rod to say like, hey man, you were going to keep giving me this middle, I will keep taking it. And we could see like he wasn't even looking at any other hole. He was so focused on this one middle. And when you know the hole you want is going to be there, and you know you don't have to worry about any other part of the goal, you just wait for that hole to get big. Makes it pretty easy, guys. It makes it pretty easy. And I think the only mistake that this team did over here was he didn't get back there and try to get some more blocks, especially when it was coming down to the clutch. Yeah. And give it, I think Mike probably could have got back here a little bit earlier, but he did. He got scored on, but that was still the right move. But great playing from everybody. Congrats to this team over here. I mean, he has a great pull. He was taking his time. He looked like he came out of the gate with the hodgepodge of passes, but then once he tightened it up to the brush, he was able to get some good passes, and then he went back to this other series that he started reading really well. For us on our channel, we would like to see one series, but when you get to be high expert or whatever this guy's level is, maybe you got both. Maybe you can alternate between series. I'm not a fan of it, but if it works for you, it will absolutely work the expert level. You can just start throwing in different series. He had different options that still look the same. When he had his weave going and his tic tac going, he had different walls and he had those little stick up passes. So he did have a series. He just had two different series that he was blending together. So we learned a lot of good stuff here, guys. So awesome work. And congrats to both those teams. Like they both played really good.